Hey, what's up guys? This is Ost Meyer Tutorials, and today's theme is gonna be really interesting for the most of our subscribers who are watching our tutorials and learn how to produce their electronic dance music sound. And as you could guess, today we're gonna talk about the harmony and melody on practice. We have chosen this theme because the creating of good harmony and melody is one of the most problematic questions by the EDM producers. Most of them have had a good knowledge base of arrangement, mixing, mastering, sound engineering and stuff like that. But they still have big problems with the melodic part of the track. And today we're going to try to make it clear. There are also many companies producing and selling the MIDI parts of lead, pad, arpeggio, plucky stuff, everything. They do everything. And that gives you much easier way to produce electronic dance sound. But once you take a look on negative side, we have too much similar tracks on Beatport, which is also not good for the track to be a big one. And that is the reason for what we are making this video. The music is some kind of universal language, which allows you to get your feelings, mood, emotions and thoughts to the other people who are listening to you all over the world, no matter what language do they speak. Music does everything. And that means that every single part of the track you're making has to reflect your inner world. So let's get starting.
Ost Meyer Production Studio provides you the high-quality online services, mixing, mastering, music arrangements, soundtracks, and many more. For the contacts, visit ostmeyer.com.
Make sure you subscribe to our channel and get -10% on mixing and mastering by Ost Meyer. For more details, visit ostmeyer.com or facebook.com/ostmeyerofficial. The standard piano keyboard, also called piano roll, has many octaves, and each of these octaves consists of 12 semitones, or 6 tones. So one tone is basically 2 semitones. Let's get a little play on the keyboard for you to understand. These all are semitones, as played on chromatic mode. And here we got tones. One tone is 2 semitones. Semitone, tone. I think you got it. Let's move forward to the mode. The mode is basically a system of the notes, some kind of sequence, which is used by the composer to produce the melody or harmony. There are many different kind of modes. We have major, minor, pentatonic, blues mode, oriental, Lydian, Mixolydian and so far and so on. However, the most used modes in electronic dance music are major and minor. Now I'm playing the pentatonic, for example. Sounds quite Chinese. It's also used for the lines or sequences to fill the arrangement. If you want to get more information about the modes, just go to the YouTube and share a lot of material. But we're gonna make some EDM melodies now. Quite housey, quite trancey and quite commercial. So what we have? Before we start with the chords, let me tell you what is actually the major and minor. Major is quite funny, nothing is difficult. Here comes the minor. There are 3 different kinds of minor mode. The natural minor are just played, and there are also melodical and harmonical minors. So we're not going to spend much time on this. And let's try to create some chords. What is actually the harmony? The harmony helps the melody. It's like a background. Basically, the harmony shows the melody the way to sound right. For example, the same melody can sound good with the one harmony, but nothing more than crap with the other harmony. You know, it's really hard to explain. You just have to feel everything you do and everything you produce. Music, it's not a mathematics. It's not a science, so you just do how it feels. However, there are a lot of music theory knowledges about the music theory, harmony and stuff like that. But the problem is that they are all about the classical music. That means that many things that normally used in electronic dance music are strictly forbidden in classic school. So all you need is just work on your hearing. I mean the musical hearing, the harmonical hearing. As for example, let me tell you a little bit about myself. When I was a child, 7 years old, it was about 20 years ago, I have had a simple piano at home from my grandfather. I was just trying to learn to play myself and used to try to repeat all the famous tracks I have been listening to on the radio, TV and stuff like that. Of course, I didn't have any musical knowledge base. It was a time before I went to the music school. So everything I used in that time was my hearing and memory. That was a huge training for me as for the child. And only that practice helps me even today. Okay, let's back to the present. To develop and train such ability in you, as well as to train your hearing, just get a MIDI keyboard and try to repeat a lots of tracks. In case your hands are don't able to play live, you may simply draw the melody and harmony using the MIDI editor. For the beginning, just take 10 to 20 of your favorite tracks and try to recreate them yourself. And that is a most important and useful exercise, so remember it. Let's try to work on chords. The chords consist of the intervals, and before let me tell you about them. The first interval is prime. This is the same as the octave. Then comes a second. That was a big second. And the small second. It has one semitone. The big second has two semitones. Next comes third. It was a small third. It has 3 semitones, or 1.5 tones. And here is a big third. This has 4 semitones, or 2 tones. 1 tone is a 2 semitones. Then comes fourth. 2.5 tones or 5 semitones. There is no big or small fourth. And then we have a tritone. Sounds pretty uncomfortable. It has 3 tones or 6 semitones. The tritone. It's not often used. 0, 1, 2, 3. Tritone. Then we have a fifth. It's also clean, there is no big or small fifth. Then comes a small sixth. It's 4 tones. And then we have a big sixth. Then comes a small seventh. And the big seventh. And then the octave. So based on these intervals, we build a chords. For example, we can take a small third and the big third. Together, they build a minor chord. Or we can make otherwise. First comes big and then the small third. Together we have a major chord. Major and minor. We may also rotate these chords, just swapping the notes up and down the octaves. Let me just show you how it works. This is a really interesting theme. Just a few mouse clicks. No. Okay. We're going to draw a chord. Here is a third, the small third. And then comes fifth. Here we have minor, the C minor. The key note is C. We can also make this minor to the major. Just moving up the third. And then we are going to duplicate the highest note, the prime or the octave. Then we'll try to rotate the notes and make some inversions. No, I think the highest note we're gonna delete. We just moved the first note 1 octave higher. This is a first inversion of the chord called 6. Here we have the C6. And here is the A major 6. A minor 6. As you can see, the third note or the third voice is on the bottom. But the key is now A. Here is the chord. And this is the 6th chord. And if you do it once again, placing the lowest note 1 octave higher, you will get a second inversion of the chord. It's called a 6/4 chord. Here is that. This is a A minor 6/4. The 4th is on the bottom. And the edge is built 6th. And once again, low voice up. And now we are back to the simple A minor chord. But of course 1 octave higher as we had before. As you can see, nothing is difficult. Everything is simple. The prime note or the key note is tonic, also called tonic function. That shows you the key of the track. If we have a track in A, we have a A as a keynote. If the track is in D, we have a D as a keynote, or as a tonic. This chord should be combined with the other chords, and to show you how it works, we're going to take a famous classical track, Elektra by the Super8 Tab. Here is the 8 minor, it plays the tonic function. Then comes a 7-stage chord, which plays a dominant function. As you can notice, we always invert the chords, to connect them as smooth as possible. No, the minor sounds not well. We just feel the major here. Well done. Very good and very smooth connection. Then comes next chord. In Elektra we have D minor here. First was a A minor, then comes the G major, and then is a D minor. And beyond comes F major. Just draw it. We can just copy the G major and pull it one tone down. Now we have 4 bars, the half of the Elektra's harmony. Of the period harmony, the period is 8 bars, but the 4 bars is a half period. Just listen. And just duplicate those 4 bars. Then change the second part a little bit. On the end we have a simple C major. Just a little bit of swapping the notes. And here we have the whole harmony used by Super8 Tab in their track Elektra. Let's pump up the velocity on the edges of the chords, because this is a very important thing to sound musical. And then we're gonna change the sound from the piano to a pad. And here we are. Let's work on the melody. To create the melody we use drawing, because normally we play the keyboard live, but now we are drawing for you. The quantized step should be 1 to 8. here we have it, just listening. As you can hear, we are back to piano. Let's get it change the pad a little bit. Just select one of the standard pads. This is too high. Get 2 octaves down. -24. That's great. Improvise with the lead. As you can hear, the work is almost done. Everything sounds how it should be. So we think it's enough with Elektra. Hope you understood how to repeat the melody and harmony. You can do such things with each and every track you like. This will be some kind of home task for you. But we continue and move to the next step. Now we're going to try to create totally new harmony and then the melody. I think we use the same A minor key. Play on the keyboard. Very nice pad sound. I think this harmony should be nice. Let's record it on the MIDI part, because everything we do now is just hearing and feelings. Well done. Let's get a quantizing. I think we swap the first and second half with each other. The right half goes to the left and left to the right. Get a glue. And here we are with very interesting harmony. As always, quantizing length and velocity. And finally, legato. Pretty cool, let's listen. Oh, I'm sorry, forgot the edges. This is necessary each and every time by Chords. Here we are. Let's work on the melody. I think we're gonna use the Omnisphere. Go to the monophonic synths, because now we are making the lead. I think this should be nice. Now we're going to play it live on the keyboard above the existing pad. As you can hear, I'm using only the notes which are allowed to use in A minor mode. You have to learn these modes strictly to play and produce correct. For example, we have here the harmonical minor, but here we have the melodical minor. Or simply the natural minor. We use here only the natural minor. The harmonical and melodical minor modes are much more used by the Armada artists. But one more thing. The melodical minor comes down different as upwards. So when it goes down, it's the same as the natural minor. That means that melodical minor allows you to use more notes. Let's try to create a new melody. We're going to use much more pentatonic elements. A, C, D, E, G, A. Okay, that was creating the melody above the existing harmony. I think this is the easiest way, because you already have the background, which simply helps you and shows the right way. But let's make contour-wise. First we're gonna find out and draw the melody, and only then comes the harmony. Here we go. This is some kind of freestyle improvising. And finally we find it. But let's try to play it once again and record it. As you can hear, this melody is quite simple, nothing is difficult. Once our melody is ready, we move to the pads. You know, it just feels how to play that pads. I cannot explain you how did I get that. As always, corrections, quantizing and stuff like that. I think now we're gonna add one of the chords to sound much more interesting. Now it's better. And here is what we got finally.
This video was filmed and produced by Kyrylo Rusanivsky.
That was an example how to make a harmony above the melody. I hope everything you have seen in this tutorial will definitely help you in the future. If you have some more interesting questions about the music production, leave your comments below this video on YouTube and of course on our Facebook under the post with this tutorial. And we are going to choose the most interesting theme for our next tutorial. And don't forget to subscribe to our all social network pages. The links you can find simply on ostmeyer.com. That was Ost Meyer Tutorials. See you next time and goodbye.
Have enjoyed this video? Don't forget to like, share and leave your comments. It was Ost Meyer Tutorials, the music and sound production podcast.